Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. A lot of news out there in the media world. Trust me, this is going to be a long one. Now, recent news. Where should I start? Right? I'm going to start with Netflix acquiring Warner's, buying Warner Brothers out. Netflix, media giant, taking over, got Warner Brothers now. What does this mean? Probably any production of Warner Brothers, they basically own the rights and they get the royalties. It was what, 82.7 billion. I heard that's how much it's worth, right? Uh, yeah, that's how much it's worth. That's what I'm hearing. That's how much it's worth right now. Like 82.7 billion, right? So this is a big move in the media universe, very big. Um, Acquiring a media company like that, right? What does it mean? It means probably streaming is going to grow, more productions. They're just, they're they have the game in a monopoly right now. Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers produced a lot of movies, a lot of productions for a long, long time. So now they get to officially add ownership of all the Warner Brothers catalogs, right? The catalog, right? So this is a big thing for Netflix, a big thing for media. It's a big thing, yeah, for streaming technology. Um, and what you're going to start to see. I know that Disney is its probably competitor, right? Disney's they bought out Marvel. I don't know if they bought out DC, but I know that they bought out Marvel. They own Marvel, Disney. So Netflix doing this move, getting Warner Brothers, is going to make them more strong as a media company. What does this do for us, our people? Um, Probably if you're a person on streaming platforms watching different types of series and movies, you might see something a little bit more better. It's just bigger now, right? They took over. Warner Brothers want to get out of the business probably or something. Whoever has shares in it and they're selling it to Netflix. Netflix has it. That's the news what's out there right now. So we shall see what it affects on a big scale because there's other streaming companies out there, but Netflix is a giant right now, and acquiring Warner Brothers just made them more stronger, right? So besides that news in the hip hop world right now, what's going on with between two legends and their family members is Snoop Dogg and Daz from the Dogg Pound legendary Death Row Records that Suge Knight once ran back in the early 90s with Snoop Dogg. And Tupac was on it later, but Dr. Dre was the producer for the label. Many artists were on that label. Too much to mention. You had Lady of Rage, like I said, Snoop Corrupt, Daz, um, even MC Hammer was on there one time. I said Tupac. Uh, there's so much people, I can't even name them all. But anyways, over the time after Suge Knight lost control of his record label because of financial problems after Tupac died, he tried to change the label name, call it The Row, and then Daz. At one point, he left Death Row. In after Tupac, I think after Tupac died, I don't know if he left that he left, but he was on the row when Suge Knight tried to re-energize the Death Row, and he was in the studio and getting anything his hands could get on so that he would be in a better position because he probably had an idea something was going to happen. It was going to fall, the Death Row. So it did fall. And years later, it was auctioned off, and a Canadian company actually acquired Death Row. for a while, right? A Canadian company, because Suge what bank was bankrupt and shit. He couldn't run the label anymore, and he was locked up in prison. So this Canadian company took over Death Row, and then a other company bought it. I'm not sure which company. So not too long ago, Snoop Dogg about a year ago purchased it. I don't know how much money he got it for, but Snoop Dogg owns Death Row, but he doesn't own everything 100%, meaning the catalogs. And Daz was a producer for Death Row for a lot for from the beginning, I guess, or the middle, like besides Dre. And he has a lot of records with Tupac, a lot of records that he Daz has done on Death Row, and Snoop wants to all. That's what he's saying. He wants to control everything. He wants to collect all of that. So Daz is accusing Snoop of trying to be a little kind of sneaky and um, con- I guess controlling. Like basically, he wants the ownership of what Daz has from Death Row, because Daz produced a lot of records on Death Row. Daz Dillinger, he produced a lot of records on Death Row, and Snoop owns Death Row now. So Snoop wants full ownership of even those records. He done a lot for Tupac. That's what I'm hearing. Daz done a lot of records for Tupac. He done a lot of records for other people on Death Row, because he even stayed after Snoop was gone. He stayed and produced the record. So Snoop wants that. That's what Daz is saying. And Snoop is angry. He's saying, yo, don't don't fuck with him. He's like he respond. They're both going back and forth right now. They're both going back and forth. Now, this is two West Coast legends. What does this like do for hip hop? Some people might say it's not doing anything, but it's kind of educating you, because Daz is not an idiot. Let's be straight up. Much respect to Snoop, but Daz knows his business. He's putting out the music business. He's talking about how there's certain type of people in the business who will help influence this. He's accusing his cousin, because they're cousins. Snoop and Daz are cousins, of working with people to try to like get his whatever he has, his ownership of royalties, what is associated with Death Row. That's what Snoop wants from Daz. That's what Daz is saying. You don't even know, right? So this is like another beef. They had a beef. I swear they had a beef probably before, and then they get back together. I swear they dropped an album not too long ago, or I seen something promoted a couple months ago with him and Snoop and the Corrupt. So now something has happened that Daz is like calling out Snoop. He's calling him Snoop Knight, saying he's like Suge Knight, right? Doing all types of stuff. Daz is on posting about this whole situation. Snoop just replied once so far. So they say he ain't gonna fuck him up physically, he'll fuck him up with his lawyers. Or in business. I didn't say, let me correct myself. He didn't say lawyers, but he says in business, he'll fuck him up like that. But that probably means the same shit. So Daz has the rights of the imprint, the paw imprint for um, the dog pound. So if you don't know, that's why he's saying that Snoop is trying to claim that symbol, right? What represents the dog pound, which he said he created. Daz said he created it. So Snoop wants that too. I don't know, man. This is a real dog fight, if you want to call it. The dog pound, two guys, the founding members, whatever you want to call it, fighting over royalties, right? Snoop owns Death Row now, and Daz is an artist that was on Death Row from, you could say near the beginning. Bless up, let me see, what is it? Carson Fields. Yeah, bless up. Yeah, a lot of things is going on in the industry right now. So Daz was exposing the guy who had Koch Records and transformed to E1 Music, and then transformed to another music label. I forgot the guy's name, but he's saying he's responsible for this whole thing. Well, not necessarily responsible, but kind of influential with Snoop trying to get all the royalties for Death Row, right? But other news now, let's go on to this news. I know it's kind of juicy news for some people, but the Diddy, right? I watched the Diddy documentary called Reckoning, where I should say it's 50s documentary, which he, you know, he brought to Netflix, and Netflix has it on. I don't know how long it's going to be on, but I've watched the documentary, the Diddy documentary, what 50 put out there. It's not doing Diddy no justice, but it's opening up other what is called doors or boxes. And one of the main things right now, one of the boxes that's open up, which I've been talking about for years, is associating P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, with the murder of Biggie. I mean, Tupac. That's what they're putting out there because they put Keefe D, right, in that documentary for a reason, right? Diddy didn't go to court for no Tupac or no stuff like that. He didn't go to the court for that. He went to court for um, they're accusing him of trafficking and doing all types of illegal so-called acts. There was gun charges. You don't see nothing with P Diddy getting charged for guns. He was charged for trafficking two individuals. So in this documentary, it brings up other stuff, and one of the main things is Tupac, and then Biggie too. So I believe I've been saying this for years before everybody jump on the bandwagon. If you're connecting like that, you have to connect both of them, both those individuals in that story, the Tupac and the Biggie, because you know it's connected in some way. Who benefited from those two individuals being taken out? So if you're gonna implicate Puff Daddy and saying that he's behind it, because they used to think it was Suge Knight for years. That was the stereotype, the big bad Suge Knight. But now Suge Knight's locked up in jail. P. Diddy was free for a good while. And up into the videotape with him and Cassie, no one was saying nothing about P. Diddy really like that, like what they're saying now. So Puff Daddy been doing things for years. I know that. It's in the doc and it's in the doc. And there's more stuff what they left out because probably didn't want certain people like to come after 50 didn't want certain people to come after him. But I'm hearing the backlash that they put out, I don't know if it's a rumor or true, a cease and desist from P. Diddy's lawyer to Netflix. Remember, Netflix released this shit. I don't know how long it's gonna be on, but 50, he set this all up. And I watched it. It's like a series. As you watch the series, it's called The Reckoning, right? You watch the series, it takes you from the beginning of, I guess, Sean P. Diddy Combs is from him growing up to his career. People, some of the people who are so-called closest to him growing up, and then it talks about his career and how he was doing his business and his relationships. But then they bring up the whole Tupac and the Biggie shit. So when you watch it with and you see analyze it, you see they're trying to connect him to the murders of both of those individuals. Because when Tupac died, and they're saying this East Coast and West Coast war was going on, if put it this way, if Biggie didn't die, they would keep suspecting Puff Daddy for some reason at the time. If listen to that, if Biggie stayed alive longer with P Diddy, they would this whole thing would have probably came up more faster. So by eliminating what's called Christopher Wallace, right? By eliminating him, it makes it look more real, right? It makes it look more real because then he's gonna say, "Oh shit!" It's like everybody's all equal. So Biggie died, but if Biggie didn't die, they would be already on P. Diddy's neck from a long time ago, from 96, right? I mean, from 97. Well, that's when Biggie died. He died 97. But the point in this documentary, when you watch this documentary, even I see what 50's trying to do, right? Bless up. Yeah. So yeah, I see what he's trying to do. I see what he's trying to do. 50. 50's trying to do all types of stuff, man. Don't know what that means, but all I know, I watched the documentary. 50 still has beef with P. Diddy Combs. And there's more to it. He just took out certain parts, like the part where people are accusing Jay-Z to be involved in certain things. The part, even the lawyer who had all these clients for against Diddy, he was proven to be, you know, not good. So yeah, the documentary is definitely interesting. You got to check that out because it's like linking things. Now everybody's talking about Tupac, the Tupac murder. Now everybody's talking about it. It's bringing it up again. Remember, right before Diddy got in trouble, that's what people were talking about, the Keefe D stuff. They were talking, remember, Keefe D was on Vlad. That's how he gave himself up. He went out in the media, started to talk. I think he even made a book. But from him talking on a big platform, it spotlighted the whole thing from that time. That's why he's incarcerated right now. And the story he's trying to change up all the time. But the story is he's a big member, or was a big member, shot caller in the Crips, one of the Crip gangs in, I think, Compton. And his nephew, Orlando Anderson, is the one who was getting kicked in the Las Vegas that in Las Vegas in the hallway or something that night by Suge Knight, Tupac, and all of them. They're kicking him after the Tyson fight. They're beating uh, this big, you could say, deadly Crip up. It was a whole bunch of them against one. So did no one know who he was, or did, like, if they really knew who he was, would they have done that, or did they just didn't care? Either way, he got attacked, right? And the get back was what happened to Tupac, because if that's his nephew and he's saying he was a part of this whole assassination, is because the nephew and him felt disrespected by Tupac. Let's be straight up. If Tupac is the one with the rest of them beating him up, kicking him up, and he goes to his uncle who's in the area that night, these guys are gangsters. Remember that. Street gangsters. So the feeling, they just went straight to deal with it. They couldn't have this singer guy or whatever, this rapper guy, and it's bloods to who they're not working with do that to them. No. So there's all types of conspiracy stories people could talk about, but Keefe D already spilled the beans on social media, went on Vlad and talked about a whole bunch of things, how it was going down, the car they were in, and how they saw Tupac, and how there was girls around there. Then he knew the whole environment and said how much of him and the other, how much people was with him, the whole thing. And after that, other events happened after Tupac's murder. Remember that. There was like a war going on in Compton, I guess, like the Bloods and the Crips. They don't really spotlight that. That was going on because the whole gang affiliation with Death Row. Death Row had Bloods and Crips on the same label, in the same studios. But obviously, Suge represented with the Bloods, so that gave them more of a upper hand in the spotlight way. But there was always Crips. You had Snoop associated with Crips, Daz, Corrupt, associated with Crips, and there's others. So a lot of things was going on, man. In the documentary, they're trying to say that Puff Daddy associated himself when he went to Cali with Crips, right? And they're not going to say they're a security, but they kind of protect them. He associated with two sets of Crips who was like, they're around these successful, wealthy guys from New York, right? Harlem. So the Crips was good with Diddy. I don't know if Diddy admit that or anything like that, but that's what was in the documentary. In the documentary, they do put certain characters in there. They put some gangster in there. This guy named Zip, who's from Harlem, right? This guy named Zip dresses in suits, doesn't dress in no street shit. In suits. Apparently, he was a big drug lord, right? And he's from Harlem. Puffy's from Harlem. Remember that? His father was into that same shit. So all of this is linked because when people think of Puffy, they're looking on Puffy as this, like back in the day, look at the skinny nerd guy involved in music. That's what people looked on Puffy as, this skinny nerd guy who went to school and got the knowledge and he got involved in the entertainment industry. And that's what he did. He got in the industry and he kept growing, he kept getting bigger and bigger, influential. A lot of people liked him. Some people hated him. But guess what? He rise to the top and started to get bigger than ever. And when he got bigger than ever, he got pulled down. He had revolt, right? After Bad Boy, he was doing all types of stuff. He even sued a liquor company. See, so he been through a lot of wars, man. Trust me. And then certain people associated with him, like they all die or they in some bad situation. Like, look, Black Rob, he died. Um, Craig Mack, he died. A certain, they said he had AIDS. Um, G. Dep got locked up, but that was his situation from back in the days. But Shine got locked up for 11 years or 10 years for being basically a rapper bodyguard for P. Diddy. He got locked up for 10 years, Shine. Yo. 10 years he got locked up. Remember that? That's crazy. Shine got locked up for 10 years from P. Diddy, right? And remember, P. Diddy lost a rapper, Biggie, before, and other, what? Did I say Black? Yeah, Black Rap passed away. Craig Mack died. You see that? That's three rappers dead on his label. Two rappers went to jail for. Don't even know about the rest of the other people, but I just know those are the biggest ones known. So P. Diddy lost three rappers. One of his top ones, and people don't really look on it, Black Rob. Black Rob was a street rapper, but he still had hits, right? Still around. He was still doing something. But I hear if you look up that story, it's probably not even a good story with P. Diddy and Black Rob, because the news is coming out that when it was Biggie's funeral, he made the bill not go to, it didn't go to him. He didn't cover the bill, Puffy. That the bill went to the family, Biggie's family. That's another news coming out. You got to watch this documentary, man. It's talking about that. And also, when his career started off, it was like a fucking curse. It's like you could call it a blood sacrifice, because one of his first events, there's like 4 people died because they got trampled. It was some type of what was he doing? I don't know if it was a show. Yeah, actually, it was a show, right? P Diddy. It was like the place looked like a gym to me. Looked like a gym to me, like this big ass gym, and 4 people died. They got trampled or some shit. You have to watch the documentary. They were trying to go through the doors or something was going on. So Puff Daddy, his career was cursed from the beginning. After that, he became very, very successful. If you look on it, I think it was 91 or even 1990, right? So he put together an event. There's a lot of people in this place. And 4 to maybe 5 people. No, actually, what I'm talking about, they said 9 people died, yo. Shit, there's a lot of people who died. I think it's actually 9 people who died. That's crazy, yo. 9 people died at your event. A lot of people don't know about that story with Puff Daddy. That happened in the beginning of his career, and then look, now he became very big after that. So in this documentary, it's interesting, but guess what? Puffy's not staying in jail long. Puffy's gonna be coming out. Not he's the long he might be in there for 3 years. That's the longest. He's not getting a long time. Puffy's not getting a long time in the prison, man. He's not getting it. Puffy's gonna be out probably in 2 years. This documentary though, Puffy's people, Sean Diddy Combs, uh, word is he gave his lawyer put out a cease and desist. Netflix released this, you know. This is a Netflix series in collaboration with 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, right? A lot of people I could bet watched it. That's why you're hearing a lot of people talking right now on the internet. A lot of people are talking, man. Big news. Big news. So you're gonna see a lot of people starting new stories about Diddy. Now Diddy's back to the media because of 50. It was being silent for a while, but now 50 just bring it back up with this doc. I wouldn't be surprised it gets pulled down soon, right? What else news is going on? What else news? Oh, AI in music, Spotify, right? They saying they're okay with AI. They accepted AI songs, right? But iHeartRadio is saying that they don't want no part of uh, AI music will not be on their platform. They're banning that shit. They don't want AI. So that's good. I respect that because AI will take away the what is called people's streams who already hurting. So Spotify is okay with the AI. So you know why I'm not surprised because there's so much shit people are accusing Spotify with the bots. So the system is basically been getting abused for years. So you cannot trust and put 100% in Spotify, right? As the definition of music listening, right? And they're putting AI music in their platform too. So they don't give a shit. But iHeartRadio, they don't want none of that. And maybe other platforms might join them or they might be like Spotify and AI music's all right. Because right now, if it's like that, you could create an artist. You basically create an artist and you make money if there's any money in streaming anyway. So people don't give a damn anymore. You see what's going on? These people are getting lazy. Like these are producers saying instead of working with an artist, I could create my own artist. So that's gonna be the new trend now. You're creating your own artist. So your beats or whatever, I guess the production is your production. That's the key to it. But you have an AI artist either singing or rapping. You get what I'm saying? Probably could use your own voice as a producer to be the artist. Do the AI like that and do the beat. So this is gonna be the thing. Trust me. It's gonna be like just use my voice and maybe I type a couple stuff as what I want as a song idea. I already have the beat ready. I type what I want as a song idea with my voice, the song's finished. It's my voice. I guarantee they must have that already. All you have to do, they take your voice and maybe you write, it's not a little bit, you write a good, whatever, what you call a verse, the idea, right? It has to be a certain limit of words, but it's your idea still. And then when you do the process, it's going to take that idea and add it to 3 minutes. You get what I'm saying? And it takes even the energy from the title. So from the title and the words, what you're putting for like, it's gonna take that in, and for about 3 minutes, it's gonna spit lyrics, either rapping or if it was singing, right, or anything with the vocal. So you'll go for 3 minutes with your idea. You did write maybe like a verse worth, but they're gonna take that idea and make it into 3 minutes, and the beat will be nothing. They'll just take the beat, putting with the lyrics, your vocals, what AI took. Song done. That's what's gonna happen. All you have to do, you don't even have to go in no studio and be using your voice like this. All it's gonna be, which they can do, is they already have something like that. Take your voice, write it down, and it's your voice anyways, and put it with a beat. Easy mixing. Think of it, it's your voice. It's not like no other one person's voice. It's your idea. You just don't have to write anymore. What you're taking away is all the time. I'm not saying I'm fully with it, but this is what it is. It's going to be like, instead of a couple hours, your idea is already going to be and it'll be in a program where you don't have to even record on the mic. Well, you do record on the mic on your phone, for example. It just takes the sample. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to take the sample of your voice, use that sound through the word processing, and then the beat is finished. That's the future. That's AI music, probably. That's AI music. It's price. Maybe Timberland, for example, he's using his voice, but change it into a female voice. You write the lyrics too. So you could write the idea how long ever you want it. You could write it almost a whole page, 2 pages. But the point is, AI could speed it up and add more until that song's done. And you could have different versions of it. It's not going to be just one. You might want to see, oh, that one sounds better than this version. But it's taking the idea what you wrote down and your voice sample to make the song. I just broke it down. AI music. That's what's the controversy right now. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. The Down to Earth Network. hmm A lot of things are going on. Locally into the six, Raptors are doing good, but they lost to LA last night. Um, Good team with Ingram. You see Gorilla at the games. Gorilla the rapper. Raptors is doing good. Hopefully, I think they're gonna go to the playoffs. The Raptors. They got a good lineup. Young team. Haven't watched the Raptors honestly in years religiously, but I'm gonna start to watch it. It seems like they got some new energy, and the last what couple years they got some good you know draft picks and trades and shit like that. So I'm gonna check it out. Start watching the games again because I was originally a Raptors fan when it comes to basketball, and Lakers, right? Fan from way back in the days, and the Bulls also. So, but hopefully the Raptors keep going because they're on a big streak. They just lost 2 games, I think, recently. So hopefully they get back on it. But they're doing good. and Ingram is a good addition to the team, right? But other than that, in the six, Drake is doing the Iceman. He's gonna have the Iceman. I think that this must be the Iceman 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been doing the series reviews on the Iceman and saying it's gonna flop. The last one I said it's gonna flop, right? Because when he done the last stream, it didn't have a big impact with whatever music he was trying to promote. So I'm seeing him, do previews of him on camera drinking, playing music and shit. So he's doing this little promo run. Hopefully the Iceman comes out in the new year. That's what I think. And the Owl is doing acting. So it'll be good if he does the acting after this whole Iceman streaming shit, because he's probably gonna do the streaming. People are hoping to hear the stream. All his fans, trust me, they want him to go to America very bad. Trust me, they want him in America. Right now, Pressa from Toronto is in America. I think he's doing a release party, right? So, for his new album, Press Machine 2, he's going to be doing a release party or something, listening party in LA. Pressa from the Six. Much respect. Congratulations, Press Machine 2. He's from Toronto, so I think it's just sometimes you would think because he's associated with Drake, he should be very big too. I think now is the time for Pressa. Now's the time. Yeah, I should have really bring him up besides Casper TNG. It's Pressa. Pressa's the one who's going to America and is known with Drake and other people. He was with Cora Ray. So yeah, it's time for Pressa. Now is his time. I'm calling that right now. Now's the time for him to fully rise. You got Smiley with Drake doing his thing, but yo, it's Press Machine time. Part two, he got a video out also, so you got to check it out. Follow him on Instagram, all the socials. But yeah, that's the Down to Earth news for all of you to take in, right? I don't know what else to talk about right now, but more news coming soon. And please subscribe. Rastafari Samurai at the writer's room on Saturday. I think it's 3 o'clock. It starts in the East End somewhere. Rastafari Samurai will be doing some content, right? Because we're a real podcast and we put in work. And people, you gotta subscribe, support, share the lives, share the videos. We got a lot of content, right? We're on all podcast platforms. Yeah, check it out. D2E. I'm out.